Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC.
The moment a deadly blast went off in Manchester outside an Ariana Grande concert, 22 people killed in a terror attack. We begin this noon with the latest on the Manchester bombing. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm News 10 ABC's Christina Arangio. New at noon, British authorities have now identified the suspect in the Manchester suicide bombing attack as Salman Abedi. The Islamic State group saying one of its members carried out the terrorist attack that killed 22, many of them youngsters at that concert, including an 8-year-old child among the dead. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson saying the U.S. is working closely with the British government as it investigates the attack. UK police have also arrested a 23-year-old man in South Manchester in relation to the attack, but no details on the arrest have been given yet. Kids still unaccounted for. Some parents still don't know if their children are among the dead. At least 50 teens taken to a nearby hotel. Many taking to social media, posting pictures of the missing, asking for help. We go now to ABC's Ariel Reshef. She is in Manchester, England, with more live.
Security is tight here in Manchester, with police keeping a close eye on public spaces as authorities continue to hunt for anyone connected to last night's deadly blast. Police in Manchester believe last night's blast was the work of a suicide bomber. Now officials say a 23-year-old man is in custody, and investigators are raiding other houses looking for anyone who might have links to the attacker.
The priority is to establish whether he was acting alone.
It started as a joyous night for 20,000 music fans, many younger than 10 years old. But it ended in terror. Last night, as pop superstar Ariana Grande was just wrapping up her sold-out concert, an explosion rocking the jam-packed Manchester arena. The crowd, mostly teens and their parents, frantically climbing over seats and railings, desperate to get to safety.
Everyone was running back up the stairs again, panicking, screaming, shouting, crying, and we could see the bodies on the floor, outside and in the arena part.
Emergency crews rushing to the scene to help the injured. Officials say nearly 24 are dead and about 60 injured, hundreds covered in blood and shrapnel.
You can imagine what injuries there might be through such a terrible, terrible device being left in a crowded space, but I wouldn't like to detail the injuries that we saw last night.
Some parents still desperately searching for their loved ones.
I'm heartbroken at the moment because I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's alive even yet.
British Prime Minister Theresa May visiting the crime scene.
It is an absolutely callous act that has taken place.
Ariana Grande tweeting, "Broken from the bottom of my heart. I'm so, so sorry. I don't have words." We are just learning the identification of some of the victims. One of them, an 8-year-old little girl. They will be honored in just about an hour from now here in Albert Square. In Manchester, England, Ariel Reshef, ABC News. Now back to you.
All right, Ariel, thank you so much. Horrifying for those families. New York not taking any chances in the wake of the terror attack in Manchester, England. Governor Cuomo has directed police to step up security at high-profile locations across the state of New York. That includes airports, bridges, tunnels, and subways. And in a statement, the governor called the explosion inexplicable and an abhorrent assault on our universal values as human beings. An attack on one is an attack on all. And New York stands in solidarity with the British people and our friends around the world against the forces of hate and terror. And the governor may be speaking in a little while. We'll have more on that when we hear his latest comments. The NYPD also closely monitoring the investigation into the bombing, and New York City Police Commissioner James O'Neill writing on Twitter they are trying to, quote, determine any possible implications for New York City. Now, for more on this developing story, stay with us here on the air and online at news10.com. We will continue to update you, and we will have more on how President Trump is reacting to this coming up at 12:30 in our newscast. To some other news breaking this noon. Former James Bond star Sir Roger Moore has died. That according to his family. Moore was the longest-serving movie star to play the iconic British spy. The 89-year-old died in Switzerland after a brief fight with cancer. His family posting this message on his Twitter page today, saying in part, "With the heaviest of hearts, we must share the awful news that our father, Sir Roger Moore, passed away today. We are all devastated." Also adding that the love with which he was surrounded in his final days was so great it cannot be quantified in words alone. Breaking news locally here in Colony. The police department saying they're investigating a report of a missing person from Forest Drive. Take a good look at his picture here. They say this is 20-year-old Joseph Hedgeman Jr. He was reported missing yesterday afternoon by his family. Last seen Sunday night walking towards Schenectady. He could potentially be a danger to himself. He stands 6'1", weighs 150 pounds. He was last seen wearing a purple shirt and jeans, but you're looking at his picture there. Take a good look at his face. If you have any information, you're asked to please contact Colony Police. Well, today an autopsy is scheduled for the body of a man found in Saratoga Lake on Sunday night. State police called to the lake in the area of Route 9P just after 9 p.m. Police not releasing the man's identity until the family is notified. They say they don't suspect anything suspicious. Depend on News 10 ABC to follow up with the results from that autopsy. We'll let you know. All right, a quick note to pass along this noon as well. The Coxsackie-Athens school is closed early, shutting the doors almost an hour ago because of a water main break. I just wanted to pass that along. We want to get over now to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge before we get to our other top stories this noon. And I know we saw some sun this morning and some clouds out there, but mild temperatures, right?
Take it right. Mid-60s as of last check here in Albany with a blend of clouds and sunshine. Clouds seem to be overtaking things for at least a little bit right now. 59 at Johnstown, 62 Bennington, 61 Pittsfield, and 62 at Hudson. Just check out that Stewart Shop Storm Tracker weather cam. This is the view from Stuyvesant Plaza looking to the south. Toward the peaks of the Catskills. As you can see, a good blend of clouds and sunshine, and that's the way things will remain as we head through this afternoon. Probably seeing the sun beat out the clouds by the time we head toward 3 and 4 o'clock. Satellite radar composite can show you why. Back out toward Otsego in Delaware County. This is where we're finding the clouds thinning out versus the brighter white colors right here in the Hudson Valley. We go ahead and run the view out. You notice, indeed, looking back toward western Pennsylvania and Ohio, nice little bubble of high pressure, which is continuing to try to move our way. That'll keep us dry as we head through today. Latest short-term model guidance still trying to indicate a shower for tomorrow. 24-hour forecast for this afternoon. Partly sunny, a forecast high of 74 for tonight. Clear to partly cloudy as we head through this evening, becoming mostly cloudy overnight, down to 52. I think we end up squeezing some sunshine out as we head through the day tomorrow. But like I mentioned, we're going to throw in the risk of a shower as we head through the middle and the second half of Wednesday. Beyond that, we're trending wet or pleasant. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast coming up in a few moments. Christina.
All right, we'll see you soon. Thank you, Tim. New this noon, an engineering report now complete in the Collar City. It says it would take a minimum of $2.4 million to try to fix Troy's public pools. The report recommends keeping the pools closed this summer. The city has already come out and said they will not open the pools due to budget constraints. City officials recommending people visit the city's 6 spray pools this summer to keep cool. In a statement, the mayor, Patrick Madden, saying in the coming days and weeks, the administration will review and analyze the results and formulate a short and long-term plan for the future. One of the horses posted along Broadway, a work of art in Saratoga, has been vandalized. Police say early Sunday morning, vandals toppled this one right here in front of the Adirondack Trust building, and you see the post ripped right through the top of the piece. If you have any information about this or saw who might have done it, you're asked to please contact the Crime Tips hotline, and the number is right there, 584-TIPS in Saratoga County. A dress shop in Guilderland now facing scrutiny from former customers who claim they were misled about what they were buying. Apropos Prom and Bridal Shop on Western Avenue in Guilderland getting those complaints online, and there were many of them. We reached out to Bridget Stackman, who is originally from Albany and was married back in April. She says she bought her bridesmaid dresses from Apropos and had several zipper issues, causing many of those dresses to fall apart. Stackman said the store's owner dodged her calls or tried to put the blame back on the bride.
She would raise her voice, she would yell and scream at me. On 2 occasions, she would put the phone down and then not get back on. I feel that no bride should ever have to go through what I went through.
Now, we did speak with the store's owner as well, who said she's only had a few minor complaints in the past several years and has responded to them. The Better Business Bureau saying as well that they have received complaints about that particular company, and some of them going unanswered. Happening right now, barges carrying giant beer tanks continue the slow trek across the historic Erie Canal. Those massive tanks are headed west to Rochester. It is a slow process. They left Waterford 4 days ago. only left Scotia this morning. News 10 ABC's Samantha Damasio says this is generating a lot of excitement, though, as they move through.
Quite a few people came down to Lock 8 in Scotia this morning to watch these massive tanks pass through the lock. Some say to watch history in the making. Others tell me they're just happy to see these locks being used for commerce once again. Terry Stalters didn't have to be to work until 10 a.m. Tuesday morning, so she tells me she wanted to come down and check it out.
And got up early this morning to see what was happening. So it's just very exciting.
She and her husband, Bill, live just down the street and say they stopped by the lock last night and had a chance to talk to the captain and his deckhands. The four of them sleep right on the tugboat for the entire journey.
I talked to the crew last night, and they were very informative.
They learned these tanks can each hold 2,000 barrels of beer. That's 63,000 gallons. Far too big to travel by train or truck.
Because we offered to, go get them coffee for this morning, and they're like, no, we got all that.
As of Tuesday morning, these piggyback barges had only covered 18 of their 225-mile journey, and there's still 2 more trailing behind. Each barge can carry 3 of the 60 by 20 feet tanks, and there are 12 tanks altogether. To haul this special cargo is a slow and steady process, traveling at just 10 knots. Just to lift and lower the 14-foot lock takes at least a half hour and must be done one at a time. And there's still 27 locks separating them from Rochester's Genesee Brewery. The goal is to transform it into one of the most advanced brewing systems in the world. But in order to bring that to fruition, or fermentation if you will, the installation of these giant tanks is essential. And if you still want to catch a glimpse of these tanks while they're still passing through in the capital region, just head to our website, news10.com. We've posted a tentative schedule there for you. Reporting from Lock 8 in Scotia, Samantha Damasio, News 10 ABC.
All right, Sam, thank you. Well, still ahead, continuing coverage on the terror attack outside an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. Parents separated from their children during the chaos. One mom's desperate plea to try to find her daughter, and the social media post now reuniting other families. Also, News 10 ABC's Jimmy Marlowe takes us through the dangers of distracted driving at the state capitol in a virtual world. More on that is ahead.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. Here's your Storm Tracker forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. The allergies. Yesterday, supposedly, the rating was 1.7 on our old little spin dial wheel. My old schnozometer here ain't agreeing with the 1.7 yesterday and thinks 10.3 is a little bit too low for today. Oak, birch, mulberry, the main culprits today, and not much better for tomorrow. And before those of you that start hitting the email and going, schnozometer is not a word, we just added it to Webster's. In the meantime, out to Lake Placid we go. The further north and west you go, you're finding more in the way of some sunshine. It's a view from Lake Placid. Yeah, still a little bit of sunshine in northern Berkshire County, looking pleasant. It's out to the west, though. We find things a little bit brighter, not so right now at Hessville, but as we make our way down toward Germantown, the clouds we see here coming in from the south and southwest will end up passing through, and we will get into some brighter skies as we head deeper into the afternoon. Temperature-wise in Albany right now, mid-60s, 50% humidity, and a calm wind. All right, 63 at Lake Pleasant, 60 at Hageman, to 68 at Sloansville, 67 at Freehold, Grafton at 57, 58 Adams as well as Stratton, 63 at Dalton, 63 at Sheffield. To the north we go at 61 in Bolton, 61 at Lake Pleasant. By the way, the gauges are down right now at downtown Glens Falls and the Warren County Airport. 64 Wanakina and 65 at Long Lake. Satellite radar composite showing the cloud cover issues across the region. Again, this is what's been obscuring the sun over the last couple of hours. Now trying to get out of here and get some brighter skies into the region. We broaden the view out. Notice a little bubble of high pressure here. Ohio back toward Kentucky, nosing in, trying to keep us dry as we're kind of seeing a sandwich effect going on with high in the middle. That's your meat, the bread. 2 areas of low pressure with some moisture. And eventually, I think as we head through tomorrow, some of this moisture may be able to push a shower threat our way. In tandem, this maybe will get in toward the St. Lawrence Seaway and the northwestern Adirondack. So it's a squeeze play for tomorrow as we get to enjoy some sunshine as we head through this afternoon, calling it partly sunny. Clear to partly cloudy as we head through this evening, becoming mostly cloudy, though, in the overnight period. And then as we head through time on your Wednesday, the threat of a shower trying to come in from the south and southwest. Also some activity to the north and northwest. So, again, the best way to call it tomorrow, partly sunny and the risk of a shower before we all trend wet for Thursday. Forecast as we head through this afternoon, partly sunny, seasonable, a high of 74. As we head through tonight, clear to partly cloudy this evening, becoming mostly cloudy overnight, and a low down to 52. For tomorrow, partly sunny, the risk of a shower, 77. Showers in the forecast Thursday, 65. Some steadier periods of rain later Thursday night into Friday morning. Some showers continuing into the afternoon, a high of 68. Early call on the Memorial Day weekend. Dry Saturday. The threat of an afternoon shower on Sunday. And some parades and barbecues, maybe getting a little bit wet Monday of next week. For the latest forecast, head to our website, news10.com.
Thank you, Tim. Spacewalking astronauts making urgent repairs to the International Space Station after a critical relay box suddenly stopped working. You see them outside. System vital for operating the station's solar panels, radiators, and robotic equipment. NASA scrambling to put together this spacewalk in order to restore backup capability. Commander Peggy Whitson took on the 250-mile-high replacement job, while rookie astronaut Jack Fisher installed a pair of wireless communication antennas. Originally scheduled to be installed earlier this month, but that was delayed due to leaking station equipment. Storms in Florida being blamed for causing damage to a parked car at a gas station right here. You see what happened. The awning crashing on top of the car at a Jacksonville gas station, the windshield shattering, passenger doors crumbled, and the car's roof caved in there. Strong winds reportedly behind that. The mom of the car owner says her son was inside paying for gas at the time. And when he walked back outside, that's what he saw. Lucky.
We're doing to gain safe access, it is nothing to be concerned about. We understand that feelings are very raw right now and that people are bound to be looking for answers. However, more than ever, it is vital that our diverse communities that make Greater Manchester such a strong place actually stand together and support each other, as we will be doing in the vigil at 6 p.m. this evening. We will therefore not tolerate hate towards any parts of our community, and should communities be suffering from hate incidents or crime, then I would please urge them to report it to us. This afternoon, as you saw, we were visited by the Home Secretary, Theresa May, and the Home Secretary, Amber Rudd, both of whom were given a briefing about our ongoing operations and the investigation over today and the next few days. I can confirm that the man suspected of carrying out last night's atrocity is 22-year-old Salman Abedi. However, he has not yet been formally named by the coroner, and I wouldn't wish to therefore comment any further about him at this stage. Our priority, along with the police counter-terrorist network and our security partners, is to continue to establish whether he was acting alone or working as part of a wider network. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, and you've been listening right there to the constable in Manchester, England, talking about the terror attack last night outside the Ariana Grande concert. And the constable saying there that they have identified the suspected suicide bombers, 22-year-old Salman Al-Badi. Not giving any additional information on that. They did say as well they were looking into whether or not he was acting alone or if there were others working with him. But we do know at this point that the Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. The constable also saying, I believe that a vigil will be taking place at 6 p.m. this evening. 22 people killed, many of them youngsters who were attending this concert. One child as young as 8 among the dead. As many as 60 hurt, and parents are still trying to find their children using social media to find their loved ones in the panic. And ABC's Amy Robach has more as families wait to be reunited. Take a look at this.
A heartbreaking scene as hundreds of parents search for their children.
Oh my God.
After an explosive device tore through Manchester Arena.
This is my daughter, Olivia.
Charlotte Campbell fearful because she has not heard from her 15-year-old daughter since the concert ended.
Please, somebody must have seen her at some point. Just let me know you've seen her.
Children as young as 8 still unaccounted for as authorities try to frantically reunite families. At least 50 teenagers taken to a nearby hotel.
So there was a lot of screaming and a lot of parents trying to solve their families together and keeping all the groups.
This young girl seen here wrapped in a blanket, escorted to safety by a police officer.
A lot of children were there without parents. There was no one to calm them down, so everybody was just screaming and crying and pushing.
Many taking to social media, posting pictures of the missing, asking for help. For some, the social media pleas are working. This tweet indicating all of these people have been found, let's keep going. And another tweet, one mother saying this morning she is relieved to have her daughter back home.
So relief, obviously, for some parents and others still going through this agonizing wait right now. Well, still ahead, President Trump's first foreign trip continues today. What the president is saying about the terror attack in Manchester, England. We'll have that. Also, the reality ride simulator in the capital region. News 10 ABC's Jimmy Marlowe shows us what it takes to stay safe behind the wheel.
You're watching News 10 ABC.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Today, Allstate's Reality Ride Simulator Tour is at the state capitol to drive home the dangers of distracted driving. News 10 ABC's Jimmy Marlowe got to try out the simulator, showing firsthand just how dangerous things like texting and driving can be. And it's against
Allstate's Reality Rides Simulator puts you in the driver's seat, and it actually puts a cell phone in your hand, and you have to respond to text messages while following the rules of the road and be safe. It's not as easy as it looks.
The Reality Rides Simulator is a real functioning vehicle, but it simulates putting you through road scenarios while you're trying to contend with your mobile device. Now, while you're in the car driving, others can watch your progress on the screens to see how your text grammar and spelling are coming through and get a first-hand look at just how dangerous distracted drivers can be.
Aw, come on, man. I barely tapped him.
If you get pulled over for texting and driving, there's a 5-point violation on your driving license. There's a fine associated with it. And there's shame, too. I mean, this is something that's a big issue, and nobody wants to say that I got a ticket for texting and driving.
The simulator looks like a high-tech video game, but has real consequences. The clincher? Every operator finds out just how many rules of the road they would have broken once they get to the end. It's a true eye-opener, even for younger drivers.
When they're driving home from school or when they're driving to the mall or wherever they're going, maybe they're not going to pick up that cell phone. Maybe they're going to hand it to a passenger to text, somewhere that's out of reach so that they're not distracted and they're not tempted to pick up that phone when a message comes in, because they're going to find out firsthand what's going to happen if they do pick up that phone.
Now, this reality ride is taking a tour around the country, totaling 50 stops, and the goal is to bring down the number of deaths from phone-related crashes, which was over 40,000 last year alone.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, people get out of this and they say, I'm never going to text and drive again. People are so shocked when they really think about what they're doing behind the wheel and the consequences, and not even the ticket or the fine, but things that they hit, the damage that they can do. It's eye-opening to most people that get out of the simulator.
The Reality Ride Simulator, a reminder to everyone to put the phone down, always buckle up, and be safe behind the wheel. It could save your life or that of a loved one. In Albany, I'm Jimmy Marlowe for News 10 ABC.
Such an important message. Thank you, Jimmy. Coming up, President Trump continuing his first foreign trip today. The president taking some time to comment on the terror attack in Manchester, England, how he's reacting. And, of course, leaders around the world also reacting to the Manchester bombing. Their thoughts and words of encouragement are up next.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. You're watching News 10 ABC.
Thank you for staying with us, everyone. On News 10 ABC's Christina Arangio. We need to get you caught up on some of today's top stories. And the investigation, of course, goes on into the bombing and terror attack at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. British authorities have now identified the suspect in the Manchester suicide bombing attack as Salman Abedi. And the Islamic State group is saying one of its members carried out the terrorist attack that killed 22, many of them youngsters, including an 8-year-old child. As many as 60 hurt. New York not taking any chances in the wake of the concert blast. Governor Cuomo directing police to step up security at high-profile locations across the state. We apologize for the wrong picture being up here. So increased and stepped-up patrols at airports, bridges, tunnels, and subways happening. And in a statement that you see right here, Governor Cuomo called the explosion an inexplicable and abhorrent assault on our universal values as human beings. An attack on one is an attack on all. And New York stands in solidarity with the British people and our friends around the world against the forces of hate and terror. The NYPD also closely monitoring the investigation into the bombing. And breaking news from Colony, the police department saying they're investigating a report of a missing person from Forest Drive. And there you see his picture. Take a good look. That's 20-year-old Joseph Hedgeman Jr., reported missing yesterday afternoon. Last seen Sunday night, though, walking toward Schenectady. He could possibly be a danger to himself. He stands 6'1", weighs 150 pounds. He was last seen wearing a purple shirt and jeans. Again, you see his picture. If you have any information or you recognize this person, give police a call in Colony. All right, we need to get another check of the forecast now before we get to our other stories. And meteorologist Tim Drawbridge is standing by. So we're seeing some sun out there again.
A little bit of sunshine. We'll take the temperatures in the 60s, though. 66 as of last check here in Albany. 65 North Creek. It's also 65 in Hudson. 61 Pittsfield. 62 in Bennington. Let's get a view of the Stewart Shop Storm Tracker weather cam from Four Corners in Hotel Putnam in Bennington. Kind of a milky look to the sky here. That blend of clouds and sunshine, and we'll continue to see that as we head through this afternoon as the thickest of cloud cover is now pushed to the east. In fact, satellite radar composite, you can see that pretty well here. We'll stop the loop. We'll highlight the areas of the thickest cloud cover pretty much along and south of that line. So basically from Brattleboro south through the 91 corridor, southern Berkshire County, Catskill, Germantown to Kingston, and then from about Gilboa into the Catskills. So we'll continue to see a milky look to the sky as we head through the afternoon, getting that sunshine and keeping it dry. Because notice out to the west, we have a system here. We have another system at the bottom of your TV screen through the mid-Atlantic. We kind of have an old sandwich squeeze play for tomorrow and the threat of a shower. So the forecast for this afternoon, partly sunny, a high of 74. Clear to partly cloudy as we head through tonight, becoming mostly cloudy overnight. And that threat of a shower for the most part tomorrow, south and east of Albany, also in the northern and northwestern Adirondacks. Beyond that, looks like we're all trending wet. We'll give you the timing. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast coming up in a few moments. Christina?
Thank you, Tim. President Trump on his way to Italy at this hour after spending a final day in Israel and the West Bank. But the continuing controversy on Russia's alleged meddling in the 2016 presidential election continues to shadow the president on his overseas travel. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the latest from Washington.
Hoping to reignite peace talks between the Israelis and Palestinians, President Trump met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in Bethlehem.
I extend my hand to you to be your partner,
where the two leaders pledged their commitment to do their part.
I intend to do everything I can to help them achieve that goal.
The two-day trip to Israel coming to a close with President Trump and the First Family attending this memorial for Holocaust victims at Yad Vashem. Meanwhile, back in Washington, the president still cannot shake the links between his campaign and Russia.
It should be clear to everyone that Russia brazenly interfered in our 2016 presidential election process.
Russian meddling in the election forging ahead on Capitol Hill.
President Trump asked two of the nation's top intelligence officials in March to help him push back against an FBI investigation into possible coordination between his campaign and the Russian government. Is that an accurate reporting?
It's not appropriate for me to comment publicly on any of that.
President Trump's Director of National Intelligence declined to respond to new accusations first reported in the Washington Post that he tried to discredit the FBI's investigation into Russians' interference in the election and possible collusion with his campaign.
ABC News has confirmed President Trump also asked NSA Director Mike Rogers to do the same, but he refused, deeming it inappropriate. And the White House says it will not confirm or deny claims based on illegal leaks. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Washington.
And President Trump, of course, reacting to the news about the terror attack in Manchester, saying we stand in absolute solidarity with the people of the United Kingdom. More world leaders reacting to that explosion in Manchester. You're seeing the Canadian Prime Minister's words right here, Justin Trudeau. Canadians shocked by the news of the horrific attack in Manchester tonight. Gave the statement last night. Please keep the victims and their families in your thoughts. India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, pained by the attack in Manchester. We strongly condemn it. Our thoughts are with the families of the deceased and prayers with the injured. German Chancellor Angela Merkel releasing a statement through her press team expressing that the attack would, quote, only strengthen our resolve to work with our British friends against those who plan and execute such inhuman acts. I assure the people in Britain, Germany stands by your side. And we will also have what singers and celebrities are saying, since this did happen outside a concert for Ariana Grande. A lot of them moved by what happened, and they are commenting as well. We'll have some of their statements for you a little bit later on in the newscast. New York's Attorney General now settling with a tech company he says put consumers at risk. Eric Schneiderman saying SafeTech, which sold Bluetooth-controlled door and padlocks online, did not take the necessary steps to protect consumers. He claims customers were less susceptible to hacking and theft. Now SafeTech has to encrypt all the passwords and other security credentials and make customers change their passwords on a regular basis. Director Zack Snyder stepping down from finishing the Justice League to cope with the family tragedy. Snyder and his producer wife Deborah are stepping away from completing the film to deal with the sudden death of their daughter, who died by suicide in March. Joss Whedon will take over the post-production of Justice League, including the filming of additional scenes. Well, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating whether Hyundai and Kia recalled 1.6 million cars and SUVs fast enough. Hyundai recalled nearly 500,000 vehicles in September of 2015 due to engine problems. Last March, the companies issued 2 more recalls, covering an additional 2 million vehicles with that same problem. Now, if the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration finds they move too slowly to recall and fix the cars, it will issue fines or order additional recalls. We'll let you know. T-Mobile and Sprint engaged in informal discussions about a possible merger. Mobile customers have benefited from price wars over unlimited data plans and other services that have led to the lower prices. But if the two providers merge, the prices for various data plans could rise or not fall as much as they have. JetBlue has unveiled its latest special paint scheme honoring the New York City Police Department. JetBlue estimates as much as 15% of its in-flight crew members have served as public servants in positions like first responders and also serving in the military. The Airbus A320 will now begin flying through JetBlue's 101 city network.
I don't think I have an anger issue. I think you got an anger issue.
Columbia Pictures has announced a sequel to the Angry Birds movie. Remember that? The film will fly into theaters on September 20th of 2019. The release date coincides with the mobile gaming app's 10th anniversary. The original film released last summer, bringing in nearly $350 million worldwide. Mamma Mia, here they go again, and how could they resist? Universal has announced Meryl Streep will reprise her role in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. The sequel to 2008's Mamma Mia will arrive in theaters on July 20th in 2018. And that is nearly 10 years from the release of the original movie. Well, the Bachelorette contestant with ties to the Capital Region unfortunately went home without a rose on last night's season premiere. Mike Black, a former basketball player at UAlbany, he played from 2009 to 2013, was one of the 21 contestants on the show. But unfortunately, our local guy did not get a rose last night. He is out of the running, but as we said earlier, probably better off. Let's be honest. Just ahead, the world is mourning after that horrific concert explosion, the terrorist attack in Manchester. How singers and celebrities are responding after the attack. Remember, this happened just after an Ariana Grande concert, so it's hitting a lot of people in the music world very hard, and we'll hear from some of them. As we take a live look outside right now, I-90 at I-787, we're seeing some sun, some clouds, and decent temperatures. What we can expect for tomorrow and the rest of the week coming up in just a little bit.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. Here's your Storm Tracker forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. Some clouds obscuring the sunshine for a little while late this morning. Back into the sun as we now check out the webcam view from Manchester over in southern Vermont. Sparkling. And a freshly cut lawn, I may add, just below the banner. Looking great in southern Vermont. Also, as we look back to the west and southwest, this is the view from Canandaigua Lake out in Richfield Springs. And we'll continue to see some waves of clouds move across the southern counties, trying to blot out the sunshine. But all in all, we'll end up averaging out partly sunny and keeping things dry and pleasant this afternoon. Mid-60s as of last check here in Albany, 50% humidity, a calm wind. It's a cooler 59 at Grafton, 63 at the Notch at Petersburg, Hoosick Falls at 62, as well as Bennington, Clarksburg, and North Adams. Peru, a cooler 58. North Chatham at 67, Chatham at 64, Knox also at 64, and so is Palatine Bridge. B-Spa, Boston Spa at 65, 66 Stillwater, also 65 in Clifton Park. That is the same temperature at North Creek and at Great Barrington and at Hudson. Warm spot right now, Cobleskill at 66, 68 as well off Broadway in Saratoga. There go the thickest of clouds out to the east, also moving across the southern counties as we do speak. That's what I mean. We'll see these waves of clouds try to move across the region as we head through this afternoon. Our weather coming in from the west and southwest, which means at this point, high pressure, kind of like a fullback going through the offensive line here, trying to find an alley to daylight. Unfortunately, that alley is going to be shrinking as we head through tomorrow. This system also coming up from the west and southwest. This one trying to track in from the west as well. And that means a squeeze play and the threat of a shower north and south into tomorrow. In between, we may be able to keep it dry. This is what I mean. Futurecast for this afternoon showing bright, beautiful. Again, highs in the upper 60s into the low in some mid-70s. As we head through tonight, clear to partly cloudy as we head through this evening. Overnight becoming mostly cloudy, and then as we head through tomorrow, some showers trying to come into the southern counties, Catskills, Hills, northwestern Connecticut, into the Berkshires. Also behind the banner here, northwestern Adirondacks. So we see a shower threat north and south, and in between for many of us, we should be able to keep it dry. That's not going to be the case come Thursday. Forecast for this afternoon, partly sunny, seasonable, a high at 74. So we head through tonight, clear to partly cloudy this evening. Becoming mostly cloudy overnight, down to 52. For tomorrow, partly sunny, the risk of a shower, a high of 77. Becoming wet on Thursday with some shower activity. Some steadier, heavier rain Thursday night into Friday morning before diminishing to showers. Dry on Saturday, maybe an afternoon shower Sunday. And things trending wet for the official observance of Memorial Day early next week. Christina?
Thank you, Tim. The music world and other celebrities showing support for the victims of last night's terror attack at the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England. Many taking to Twitter. Here's what they're saying. Ariana Grande up first, saying, "Broken from the bottom of my heart. I am so, so sorry. I don't have words." Ellen DeGeneres saying this. "This story's so sad, so scary, sending all my love to Manchester." Justin Timberlake, "My thoughts and prayers are with all those affected by this horrific act in Manchester. We need to do better. We need to love one another." And Lord, every musician feels sick and responsible tonight. Shows should be safe for you. Truly a worst nightmare. Sending love to Manchester and Ari. And Nicki Minaj here. "My heart hurts for my sister Ariana and every family affected by this tragic event in the UK. Innocent lives lost. I'm so sorry to hear this." Bruno Mars, "No words can describe how I feel about what happened in Manchester. I don't want to believe that the world we live in could be so cruel." Again, 22 people killed in that attack, including an 8-year-old child. So many young people there because it was a concert for Ariana Grande. As many as 60 others hurt. We'll continue to update you throughout the day and, of course, online as well. But we'll be back in just a moment with a final check of weather. And you don't have to be a celebrity to feel this one.
You're watching News 10 ABC. Dedicated, determined, dependable. You're watching News 10 ABC.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we check back in with Tim for a quick storm tracker update, here's a look at what's coming up on News 10 ABC at 4. Of course, we're following the latest out of Manchester, England, with regard to the terror attack there. It happened at a concert last night, an Ariana Grande concert. 22 killed, as many as 60 others hurt. At 4, the latest on the ongoing investigation, and also how people here in the U.S. are reacting, in addition to President Trump. Plus, store clerks in Rotterdam chase off a would-be robber with baseball bats. We have the surveillance video to show you. We'll have details on that and the arrests. And 3 EMS responders who died in the line of duty being honored today at 4. Those 3 who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving fellow New Yorkers. Well, if you miss the days of Polaroids, do you remember Polaroids? I had a Polaroid camera. I'm dating myself, Tim.
Yeah, my mother, too.
Your mother.
No, my mother had a Polaroid.
One.
Me and my sister would go take the camera and take the pictures.
Moving on. Anyway, I love my Polaroid.
I told you not to make me laugh.
All right. He's struggling with allergies. Anyway, there is a gadget now that lets you print pictures instantly from your phone. I'm so sorry, Tim. You told me not to make you laugh. The Print Pocket fits onto your phone. It prints out small pictures in about 30 seconds. Do you need my water? You okay? Since the picture is stored in the cloud, the devices even allow your photos to be turned into videos. So the Print Pocket holds 10 sheets of paper at a time. And get this, it uses inkless paper, so you don't need ink cartridges or toner.
A Polaroid back way when didn't
It was different. The Print Pocket is available for $149. It works only with iPhones right now. Sorry, everybody. You know it'll be coming.
Yeah.
But the company says an Android version. See? It's going to be available later this year. I loved my Polaroid.
It was good. You can always take lots of pictures.
Now, of course, we all have our pictures right here all the time. But when I was a kid, a Polaroid to hold that picture in your hand?
I know.
Oh, it was the greatest.
Because you would sit there and just start shaking it back and forth.
You had to wait, what was it, 4 hours before it developed?
Forget.
No, it felt like it. It was just a few minutes.
Meantime, you know what? Seemed like an eternity. Getting back into some sunshine.
Yeah.
Feels good. Partly sunny, 74 today. The risk of a shower tomorrow. Northern Adirondacks and basically from Catskill to Great Barrington Point south, 77. We all get wet Thursday. Rain, some showers on Friday, and the weekend right now starts off at least dry.
All right, good. We want to salvage part of the house.
I know.
Right?
We'll see what the stars look like.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here at 4. Have a good day.